I'm going to follow up with some of my not preferred ways to halter. I'm going to show you how they generally work, why I don't use them. The first one, I see this a lot from students who have come to me from other barns, and their approach to haltering is to open up the halter so that it's kind of facing them, and then they'll approach the horse from the front. Try to get the horse's nose in the halter, which on some occasions will work. There, we just did it. But if you're about a foot shorter than me, as soon as they lift their head up, or as soon as you do get the nose in and they lift their head up, you've lost your ability to halt them again. So that's one way. I don't prefer it. The next way is something that's come up within the last 10 or 20 years and was not a thing when I was a kid riding, is this detachable throat latch. So it's very convenient. I use this occasionally when I find a halter like this and I know I have a quiet horse. I'll walk up and I'll halter them like this. There's an advantage of it being very quick and simple on the correct horse. On a horse that's not so easy, this isn't the best approach, and I'll show you why. So, all right, so I'm over here. I'm going to halter him by using the open throat latch. So I'm gonna wait for him to pick his nose up. And then I'm going to put his nose through the nose hole and slide it over his ears. It works pretty good. Close your throat latch, always. I see some people leave this open when they walk, and to me that's a big safety hazard because this is hoof size. And if you can imagine a horse putting their foot through this gate in their halter and being stuck there, you're in for a rodeo. So let's not do that. Always buckle the throat latch. Now, what he could have done is, by haltering this way, there's the potential for him to lift his head up and move away to the right. I don't have much control. One way people mitigate that is to put a rope around the neck and then halter. Do you see how many things I have in my right hand now, though? That makes this more cumbersome because I'm also holding my horse and trying to negotiate their nose into the halter. So, advantages, disadvantages. Not my preferred way. So the final way of haltering is one I did for a long time until I started working with a lot more horses who weren't as easy to halter, and I'll show you some disadvantages to this. So this is kind of how I was taught and did it for a long time. You open up the crown piece, they're going to slip their nose in. Works pretty good. And then you have to flip the crown piece over. I have on many occasions, by not paying attention or just the material of the halter, whatever, they can come over and slap them a little bit and they kind of do a jerk reaction. So I always notice that and I go, I don't love that. If I'm not paying attention and catch it, it can catch your horse off guard. Also the tinkling, if it hits things. So again, one disadvantage is you have to throw the crown piece over. That's not always fully accepted by the horse. The other thing is, again, all he has to do is pick his head up and go to the right, and he's pretty much out of my grasp. So those are the other ways you could halter. There's no right or wrong, but my preferred method, I don't even have to halter him, and I've got a ton of control over this pony now. The final thing I'll show you, and I see this happen a lot, especially when I'm teaching people my preferred haltering method, is they'll take the crown piece in the right hand, but they'll let go of the buckle and grab the nose band, which can work, except you have to move your hand around a lot to find this next, and I feel like that confuses a lot of people, to have this piece hanging out there. So I prefer to keep my hand on the buckle and the crown piece, and then I can work the nose up into the halter without having to reach down and grab it. As soon as you do that, you can see the halter gets really floppy and starts coming down here. I feel like we don't have as good control over the halter when you do that. Oh yeah.